This is video number 34 for violin and viola players. In this video, we're going to do something kind of fun. We're going to learn the song Jingle Bells. Jingle Bells is number 41 in your book. Now again, I've done these out of order for a reason, and you'll notice Jingle Bells out of Mozart, Melody, Old MacDonald, Jingle Bells is the most difficult one out of those three songs. That's why I did those in a different order. So we're going to do a little bit of echoing stuff first. The first thing you want to do, of course, in a song is find the things that you think are going to be tricky. Just kind of look at that. Measure 1 and 2. Those are not going to be tricky, are they? F sharps all the way, right? But measure 3, that's not easy. And it looks like, oh, it's just 4 quarter notes. But look how they're spaced out and all that. You got to be on your toes with being able to note read. But here's what really makes it tricky. Look at measure 3. The first note is an F sharp. It's on the D string. The next note's an open A. It's on the A string. The next note is open D, it's back on the D string, okay? So that's what makes that kind of tricky, all right? Now on the second line, this doesn't look that difficult. It's play some G's and then play some F sharps and then play some E's. Oh, it's just going down a scale. People mess up here because they play the wrong number of G's or the wrong number of F sharps because they get lost in their music or because they're not counting 1, 2, 3, 4 in their head. Okay, so that's something we'll have to work on in that. But you do kind of see look at the second line, there are 5 G's and then 4 F sharps and then 2 E's. That might help you get through it. But again, if you're counting G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, change to the F sharp on the second note, the second beat, the second count of measure 2. We're looking at line 2. Look at line 3, exactly like line 1, no problem. Look at line 4, exactly like line 2. No, it's not. It changes. It starts out the same, but it changes in the middle of it. So let's work on what I think is kind of the hardest part of the song, and that's measure 3. Measure 3 of line 1, measure 3 of line 3, exact same thing. Play just this. Play just 2 F sharps and 2 open A's. Just that. Okay? F sharp, A. Oh, sorry. That's the next one. F sharp, A, A. Go. F sharp, A, A. Now go F sharp, A, F sharp, A. F sharp, A, F sharp, A. Go. F sharp, A, F sharp, A. Now do this. F sharp, open A, D, D. We're not looking at your music, not yet. F sharp, A, D, D. Go. F sharp, A, D, D. Now I want you to look at your music. Now, line 1, measure 3. F sharp, A, D. Now instead of repeating that D, we're going to go to E. Now look at measure 3 and play measure 3, echo me. F sharp, A, D, E. Go. F sharp, A, D, E. Try it again. And go. F sharp, A, D, E. Now at this point, in a moment I'm going to ask you to pause the video because I want you to do something on your own. I want you to play measure 3 as many times correctly as you can and time yourself. Give yourself 1 minute. Use your phone or whatever to time yourself. Give yourself 1 minute and see how many times you can do measure 3 correctly. Now don't just go super duper crazy fast. Keep a steady tempo, okay? So what I mean is without stopping. Watch like this. F sharp, A, D, E. Then again, F sharp, A, D, E. Do it as many times in 1 whole minute correctly as you can. Now guys, chances are you're not going to play it perfect every single time, okay? You might play it right once and then mess up the next one. See how many, take 1 minute, see how many times you can get it in a row correctly. And if you can get it 5 times in a row correctly, great. If you can get it more than that, even better. But time yourself and see how many. If you might just get it once, okay, that means you're going to continue to work on it, okay? Now, so pause the video now and take care of that. Now let's go on to the second line. So we have 5 G's. G, 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 another G. When I said another G, that was the beginning of the next measure. Our brains are starting to feel measures as well as the beat. We're developing some musical instincts. And so that's what we're going to be fighting right here, because it's one more G than you think it ought to be, okay? So here's what I want you to try. I want you to try just play the G's and the F sharps. Just that. Don't go to the E. And let's see if you stop when I stop. Watch that music. Don't get lost, okay? Second line, just the G's and the F sharps. Stop when you get to an E. And let's see if you stop at the same time as I do. Second line, here we go. 2, ready, and go. You should have stopped right there. Okay, if you didn't do that correctly. I purposely did not call out the G's and the F sharps. I wanted to make sure you were paying attention. I will call them out this time. Try it again. Just the G's and the F sharps. And ready, and go. G, 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 G. Another G, F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, another F sharp. Now again, I'm saying another F sharp because it feels like one more than it should be. Okay, why is that? Because it carries over into the next measure. And again, you're developing some musical instincts and you understand the ends of phrases and the ends of measures, whether you realize it or not. Things are starting to kind of take over. So a lot of it's just because you've heard songs before and you kind of know what to expect sometimes. This is a little bit out of what our brain is wanting to expect and accept. So we have to fight that, okay? Now, if you can get to those F sharps, to the F sharp and stop at the right time, you're going to be able to play the whole line. So let's try that with me. Now, the only other place people mess up on this, look at the end of the second line, and E, rest, A, rest. They forget to rest or they don't rest long enough. Okay, so make sure you're with me on that. Second line together, 1, 2, G finger down, and go. G, 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 another, now F sharp, another, rest, A, rest. Let's try that again together. And line 2, 1, 2, second line, G's, go. G, 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 another G, F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, another F sharp, E, E, back to F sharp, now E, rest, A. Okay? All right, now guys, you might have noticed that they are still using the sharp signs for the F sharp, but there's one per measure. There's not one for each note. Remember, we started talking about key signatures a long time ago. Remember, the key signature eliminates the need to have that sharp sign there every single time. But when you have a sharp sign and it's not in the key signature, it's good for a whole measure, and then they have to put a new one in there. So you're going to see that a lot in this song. Okay, the sharp sign is good for one whole measure. When it's put in the key signature, it's good for the entire song. And that's why I wanted to teach you key signatures ahead of time. 2 reasons, because I want you to know how the key signature works. It's good for every single F sharp in the entire song. Every single F in the entire song is sharp, but also so you don't learn to identify the note by the sharp sign that's next to it. I mentioned that because some of you might have missed second line, measure 3, the last note. If you are someone that's identifying F sharp by the sharp sign in front of it, you might have missed that one, okay? So that is an F sharp, and that sharp sign was good for that one as well. So if it's not in the key signature, it's good for a whole measure and then expires at the end of that measure, and then you have to have a new sharp sign. And you can really clearly see that in measure 1 and 2. All right, let's go ahead and go on to the last line now. So this one's a little different. I want you to play the G's and the F sharps again, but it's going to be different. I'm not going to call it out. Go to the last line, play the G's and the F sharps, and stop when you get to the note A. Don't play the A. Last line. 1, 2, ready, and go. G, 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 F sharp, F sharp, F sharp. I just realized I said I wasn't going to call it out, and I did. Let's do it again. I'm not going to call it out. Hopefully you were with me though. Again, last line, play the G's and the F sharps. Ready, and go. Hope you stopped when I stopped, because from there, it's easy. Do the last two measures of the song. A, G, slightly tricky, skips to E, then open D and you're done. Do the last two measures, play it with me. And 1, 2, last two measures, and go. A, G, E, D. Try that again, last two measures, ready, and go. A, G, E, D. Now what you need to do right now is pause the video, practice, see if you can get all the way through it, because we're about to try it with the recording. I would focus on measure 3 of the first line, I'd focus on the last two measures, and then maybe the whole second line. Okay, whatever you think you need to practice the most, that's what I want you to do. Now we're going to try it together with the recording. F sharp, finger
41.
down.
Jingle bells.
1, 2, ready, and go. F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, rest. F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, rest. F sharp, A, D, E, F sharp, rest, rest, rest. Here they go. G's. Another G. Now F sharp. Another one. Now E. Now back to F sharp. E, rest. A. Here's third line, just like the first. Now don't get lost in your G's. Be ready when the A comes. Another G. Here comes the A. Now A. Now G. Skip to E. Okay, if you got totally lost on the second line, you were probably not alone. If you totally messed up the last two measures of the song, you're probably not alone. All you need to do is practice it, and you will definitely get it. Practice little sections. Don't always start at the beginning. There's no reason to play measure 1 and 2 over and over and over again. You're wasting your time. You're wasting a piece of your life. If you do that, practice the hard stuff, okay? And then put it together, and you will get it. This one's going to take, again, probably about a week for you to really learn without any mistakes. That's completely normal. Just keep trying, keep trying, keep trying.